Hey, dude, can you hear me? I don't think Johnny can hear me, but what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode one of the Sub-60 podcast with Johnny and I. We're trying to figure out our setup, and Johnny dropped all his equipment. Dude, can you hear me?
I'm to do this under my desk.
Dude, fun fact: we actually bought equipment to start a podcast last year. Set up a studio at Johnny's, and nothing ever happened. And here's take two.
Jesus, dude. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Man, I'll
Dude.
deal with that in the weekend.
What happened?
I dropped my camera. It's stressful.
Damn. Yeah, dude, forget about the flag. We'll add it in post.
Forget the flag, but you got a nice background.
Oh, this is my everyday background, dude. This is my metal rack.
I was going to put it right here.
Damn. Oh, between the windows?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, dude, we'll Photoshop that after. Nice.
All right.
Dude, we're doing this.
Hold on. Before we...
Oh, I guess there was a countdown of me picking my nose.
Dude, all right, it's recording. Pot episode. Well, I was just saying when you were trying to fix your setup, this is not episode number one because we bought equipment and we set up a whole studio at your house last year, recorded a video, and that went nowhere.
It's episode 1 that will be officially seen by the public.
Yeah, dude. We'll save the other one for the true fans once we set up once we set up a Patreon or OnlyFans.
If we edit it and actually post it.
We'll open an OnlyFans and it'll just be just videos of us doing body before the race. What do you call that? The body glide.
Yeah. All I know is 2022 podcasts. Those are going to be the best ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you said, that'll be for the special fans, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, kick it off, bro.
Yeah, man. It's episode 1. This is going to be our Sub-60 podcast. It's me, Mauricio from New York, and Johnny all the way down from
down
Florida.
Under. Florida.
Down under. From Florida. Yeah, man. And today we're going to be talking about the IRONMAN Texas recap. We were both down in Texas about a week ago, and we really pushed ourselves to get this put this on camera while it's fresh in our minds.
1 week later.
Well, that's 1 week later. It's really early for us.
1.5 weeks, and it's not fresh in my mind. So you're gonna have to help me recollect all the data.
Man,
as we finished the race or DNF'd our races, we did not want to talk about anything, and I just couldn't help myself. So this is like the third brief.
Yeah, so it's not first reactions, but for everyone watching, it will be.
I'll pretend.
Yeah,
I'll pretend like everything's fresh.
Oh, damn, you went to Texas, dude?
Dude, yeah. I saw you there.
Damn. All right. So leading up to the race, I can't remember how we registered for it. I know that we did Placid in July last year. So you finished, I DNF'd, and I don't remember. I know that you signed up for it first, and then
let me tell you how I got the registration done. Yeah, we did Placid. I actually was signed up for Maryland years ago with Dylan, Ironman Maryland, and then we both decided we would not do that. I don't remember if that was the leading factor to doing California or not, but Maryland, Texas, Arizona, California was all in discussion, as well as Placid, for a really long time. And so I purchased Ironman bibs and deferred them, transferred them, and in the whole deferral loophole of Ironman, somehow in my mailbox I saw that I had to do Ironman Texas in 2025. There was no choice. There was no deferral option. No, it had to get done. I don't recall if I knew that after Placid, how soon after Placid I knew that or not. But yeah, and I think you signed up
Yeah,
afterwards.
you might have mentioned it towards we got closer to Placid, but I definitely didn't sign up for it until like September, October, I think. And at that point, I'm just like, all right, let me just sign. In the back of my head, I'm coming off a DNF out of Placid, and I wanna, I wanna finish a race. So I really wanted a second chance, but at the same time, when I registered, it was more me. Oh, Johnny's doing it. Let me also do it with him. Sort of like a don't want to miss out on it, versus actually thinking about it and giving myself a little bit of time and a break from, we put a lot of time and effort into Lake Placid. So I think that on my end, that was a little bit like maybe looking back, I should have taken some time off and try to enjoy not training for an Ironman. But hey, I signed up and then we started to try to plan out our training. You definitely got a head start because I didn't start until January, February. So you actually
Well,
did some training.
when we say head start, so when after we finished Placid, I put on so much weight and got the Ironman blues. Put on weight, got depressed, signed up for Cozumel, DNF'd Cozumel. Said, okay, I'm gonna do Texas in April. And as soon as I started training for Texas in December, I fractured my right ankle. Jeez, I don't even know anymore. Was it my left or right? Doesn't even hurt anymore.
Damn, it's
My
a thing of the
left.
past.
Am I right?
I think it might
My
have been your
God.
left.
Just moving it now, like I can't make it hurt. Anywho, well, I got the X-ray in front of me.
By the way, you just while you're not training and keeping up with your training, you were just like, let me just do Cosmo real quick. I think you signed up
Yeah,
like that week off or something like that.
yeah, yeah. No, it was too much. I needed a break, and that now I know. But you know, Texas had to get done, and training for it injured sucked. I did not run enough, but in replacement, I biked and swam plenty. So yeah,
Yeah, I also after Lake Placid, I did Lake Placid at weighing 220, and after that I stopped. I ran and I had a few races. I definitely did like two marathons, but no, I actually did three marathons that fall. But I didn't really keep up with my. I mean, I never diet. I always say that I want to diet, but I never do. And keep, dude, I'll run three marathons back to back and do
were
all these
were they
races.
back to back?
Yes and no. They were like within a month I did three marathons. So I had like a week in between one or two, I think, something like that. But
Jesus.
even though I gained like 10, 15 pounds, by 2025 I was like 230 something.
By the way, we have a bet going on. um, yeah, I think I gained 60, man, 50 or 60. When we started the bet, I was 345. What were you? 230,
Yeah, I was like 230,
240?
230, 231.
And the bet is based on body fat percentage. I don't remember what it is. It's written down on my calendar, but I know my end weight has to be 275
And then my goal
to
was like 190, 193.
190, 193. I mean, you're
And
definitely in the lead right now.
we actually put in a milestone for this bet, if you remember, for this weekend specifically, because Alex is getting married like in a
Are
couple
you
of days,
hitting
and
it?
I am definitely not hitting it.
I'm not. I'm in
But there
ketosis
was
though,
like
I'll tell you that much.
there was like a bonus if we like hit it by his
Yeah,
wedding or
yeah,
something like that.
I was a bit concerned you would hit it. What I'll have to grab it later. We'll put it up on the screen, but yeah, I didn't hit mine. So
What's the bet? It's like 1,000. It's like a
the
grand if
total,
we hit
yeah,
the weight.
the jackpot is
Yeah,
1,000. First one to hit the weight 1,000. Every time you drink, it's $75.
yeah. So that's been fun.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, I struggle with my training for Texas. I did the bare minimum, and I knew that going into Texas, unlike Placid, I was gonna gamble finishing, at all because I'm like I'm not training for it. I don't think that I have put my body through enough, specifically swimming. But I, DNFing at Texas was not as bad as Placid for me because I knew that I didn't really deserve it. So although it sucks, you put your time, effort, and money for it into it. It still it wasn't as bad for me as Placid. But hey, we
Yeah.
showed up.
DNFing this race didn't hurt as bad as Arizona or Cozumel did. I was pretty pissed at Cozumel. But it sucked that, I trained so much on the bike and swam a lot. I hit every bike workout. I didn't run enough because I couldn't. It took at least up until March for my ankle not even to hurt when I put my shoes on. Even swimming hurt, clipping out hurt from the bike. Still got the bikes done, but it's all good. It is what it is. Definitely have to improve running.
Yeah.
Definitely have to lose weight. No questions asked about that. Yeah. So, learning experience.
This is what your second time traveling with the bike box. Second or third?
Placid, California. No, yes, second. It's a second. No, third. Cozumel,
Third.
yeah.
No, Cozumel.
Yeah, third. Easy.
Yeah.
It's easy now. I mean, I have to take my bike apart completely. I mean, the front end has to come off. I have to take the derailleur off, chain. By the way, I got to use my new green
Yeah.
chain for this race. I properly adjusted that, even though it was a bit stressful. And the
And
new
your
wheels, the 260 pound graded wheels at 330. So, I exceeded
Nice.
max capacity there.
Dude, I flew with Delta this time. Last time I used the bike box, I used JetBlue, and it didn't really give me a hard time with the weight. But Delta did, and I had to pay like it's 135 overweight fee, and it's a 53-pound bike box right now. And he told me that I have up to 51 or 52, I forget, to
Forgiveness.
to like be able to pass it. Yeah, so I need to get a pound off of this.
That's
at
why I
least.
take my tires and tubes off.
Yeah, but is
Yeah.
that really an extra pound?
I mean, anything
gotta look
that
into
can
that.
go in another bag easily, and no questions asked. The pedals and the that my bike is definitely heavier than yours. So like me taking off the tubes and tires, the pedals, the bike bottles, and the bento box, that's all I have to take off for it to be 51.
Damn. Yeah, I definitely gotta figure it out because I almost spent like $300 on the bike box alone. Which is still cheaper than dealing with what was that company?
Tri bike
Bike.
transport.
Yeah. So regardless, it paid for itself, but I could definitely get it cheaper, and put that money towards Expo.
And
But I'll say the pickup and drop off was smooth. I had no problems. I didn't wait at all. So traveling with it was a breeze. aside from
one
the fee.
thing that I might do next time is if you pay for a business class seat, obviously it's going to be more money than a regular economy. But in business class, you get 2 check bags included in your airfare, and one of them, if not both, they're up to 70 pounds each. So if you already know you're
Really?
going to be paying money for check bags or excess baggage fees, it might make sense paying the extra dollar for a business, and you might end up spending less that way. Some domestic flights are cheaper that way,
Yeah.
but just a tip.
Maybe the math adds
Yeah,
up.
but no, it was definitely good. Yeah, so
Man, I remember I got to Texas and the heat actually did not feel that bad, but man,
you
it
got there
picked
on
up.
a rainy day,
It-
right?
yeah, I landed Thursday and we had rain Thursday. It didn't rain Friday, but it rained Thursday. So I got there in the morning. It was fine. It rained that night, that afternoon, right after we were at the expo.
Yeah, gotcha. There's like a small lag on the video here. Hold on.
Yeah, same on my
Audio
end.
comes in fine.
I think it's just because it's uploading. But yeah, man, Thursday I got there Thursday. We did the expo. I was really concerned about
Sticker.
getting
Jesus
merch.
Christ.
I bought like 8 stickers, dude. Because Placid, we got to the expo late and they ran out of stickers, and I DNF. So in my mind, I'm like, that's bad juju. So I didn't want to repeat it, but even that
Well,
didn't
my
help.
bad
So
juju was seeing the medal. I saw it via email. I saw
yeah,
it
that's right.
at the expo. You guys texted it to me. I didn't like the medal. I'll be honest with you. I liked last year's medal.
Yeah, it was much better in person. I'll say that, but still, it was not like a really. There's much better Ironman medals out there. So at least one positive about DNFing is not having that.
Expo was nice though. I
But
liked it.
what'd you
I
think of the
really liked
expo?
it.
A little different now being tea time, not being part of the expo area.
Yeah, transition. Yeah, bike transition. Is that bike and run transition? Yeah, it is. What is it, like a mile away from the
Yeah,
expo, more or less?
it was a solid
Why
mile.
was the
Yeah,
expo there? Now that the finish line is there, they put it by the finish line, right? And you got the convention center
yeah,
there for the.
and there's not really space for transition to be where the expo is, and the only place they could put the expo where the transition is would have been that parking lot next door.
Yeah,
So I think they opted it out with, all right, let us put it right next to the finish line, which is fine. It makes sense. It's just, and honestly, it's manageable. It's just different. Placid, the finish line was right there.
yeah,
So
everything was there. Bikes too.
it was an easy
Yeah,
way
the
to move around.
logistics of that transition was not great. It's similar to Cozumel. Cozumel's transition. There's two transition areas, and Expo's in another area. But this was really cool. It was really nice and large and well designed, I thought. But man, when we were there for the athlete briefing, the sun was just baking me. I feel like I was
Yeah.
already losing electrolytes just listening to the briefing. And
Yeah, if they know they're known for the heat, they should have more shade for
yeah,
the athletes.
yeah, there was a lack of shade there, or at least put that thing inside. I get why they put it outside by the store and with all the vendors there, because like then you could just walk and listen. But a lot
Yeah,
of the athlete briefings, like we even in the 70.3s we've done, are inside in their own room, and you could.
even Placid, it was outdoors, but it had
Did it?
shade because it was at the on the stands, the finish line stands.
I
So it
didn't
has
have
like a
shade.
shaded area.
I didn't have shade there. Uh, but yeah, it
Yeah,
was good.
I'll say this: I think that they need to figure out a way to re- redo the script on athletes briefings because there. I understand that a lot of it's not relevant to people that have done Ironman races before, but at the same time, they need to cover it for people who's first time doing the race. So maybe they should do like, first timers briefing, and then a faster, more race specific briefing for people who just want to get that information for the race itself and not you know have to be explained what the blue bags are
I
and the red.
think
You
there
know what I
is
mean?
a
Like
first timer briefing, if I'm not mistaken. We just didn't go to it.
I don't, I don't. Well, what we went to was a full briefing. So if anything, that was the first
Mm.
timers briefing.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why in the
But they
athlete
should.
guide I thought there was a briefing simply for um first timer as well. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll double check. But no, it was
Yeah.
that I liked the layout of the store and everything, and then the briefing, and we took that picture. They had that picture station.
Finally took
Yeah,
a
we took
group
plenty of
photo.
photos
Yeah.
actually. It was nice. It was nice. I'm trying to think of all the different vendors that was there. Athletic Greens with the morning hat. I got another one of those, the green hat.
Morning person. Yeah.
Random gels that I've never heard of. I'll be using that for training one day. Bottles.
Yeah. Your classic, vendors. Did they have Normatec? I don't remember
They
seeing Normatec
did.
there.
They did.
Like a
Yeah. Yeah, it
did
was
they?
on the left-hand side in the corner. Yeah, there was some
Huh.
people laying there. They had a lot of new Normatec tech that you showed me. I saw those headphones, those
Oh, that's right.
those
Yeah.
swimming headphones. I think I'm gonna buy those one day.
The what? Yeah. Yeah, I think honestly, if I were able to listen to music while I do like swimming, it'll make my training much
Swimming will be
more
better.
enjoyable because
Or
it's just
podcasts.
brutal.
I'd rather listen to a podcast. I don't even listen to music anymore running,
Dude,
dude.
I'd rather listen to music. Imagine if you're swimming and you're listening to a podcast and someone like makes a joke and you start cracking up mid-stroke, you fucking drown.
Oh my god. Have
Dude,
you
that's
ever,
not
this is off
safe.
topic, but have you ever so I just started swimming with a snorkel, training for this race. I never swam with a snorkel before.
Yeah,
Have you ever
I love it.
like breathed in some water with a snorkel? Oh
Yo,
god.
of course, dude.
Brutal. Brutal.
Yeah, dude. And then you like almost choke and then you like spaz out in the middle of the
Now I
pool.
realize though that that's really helpful for my neck because when I swim, I just can't help it. My neck starts to hurt after 2 or 3 swim sessions a week. So using the snorkel just like relieves my neck. It still gives me a workout, you know.
Well, yeah, it helps you focus on
Yeah.
just your form and not have to worry about breathing. So yeah, it gives your neck a break. But yeah, man, Expo was great. Definitely spent like almost $400 on merch that can't really wear it now
Ah,
because
you
of
can wear it.
DNF. Um, I'm using the mug.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely using the mug, and I saved the hat, and that's about it.
What
Everything
did you get
else.
besides? Sorry,
Oh
go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm saving. I got a mug, 2 bottles, a hoodie, stickers, and yeah, that's it. That's it. So I'm keeping the mug. Oh, and a hat, a race hat. I'm keeping the mug, which I'm using. Yeah, that hat. I'm keeping the bottles and the hat in the Ironman bag we got, and I'm gonna save it until I come back and finish the race. That I won't wear. And then the hoodie, which was like almost $160. I'm not gonna wear it because I don't know, bad juju wearing it if you didn't finish. Um, but I did sell it actually to a guy
Oh yeah.
in Georgia, so I shipped it
What, the
out
hoodie?
yesterday. So I got
Oh nice.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
at
the
least
hoodie.
that's not a complete
So
waste. That's good.
yeah, I mean, I gave him a good price for it, so it's not full return, but it's something. So I'm happy about that. And dude, I posted like on the Ironman Facebook group chat about me DNFing, and I have a couple of things that I want to use, and everybody was just like, oh, "I need a sticker," so I'm just like shipping out stickers, like
Nice, dude.
subscribe, you
That's a
know?
good. That's a. No, that's
Yeah.
great. Trying to think what I.
So if you go to
No, the did you get
go
the
ahead.
flag too?
Oh yes, yes, and the flag. That's also so it's flag, bottles, and the hat that
I
I'm
like the
saving
flag.
in
I'm
the
hanging that
Ironman
bitch
bag.
up. Oh yeah, I'll put it
Yeah.
up. I'll put it up next week. It's just like it's all folded and stuff, so there's like creases in it. I'm waiting. I've got to flatten it out and then throw it up.
Yeah. Oh, and then I got 2 kits on my Ironman bag, like so double transition bags, and then I got double the flag that you
Oh,
get
nice.
inside your bag, not the one you buy at the expo. So I don't really need 2 of them. That's something
Just
else that I'm
really,
keeping.
oh, I'm
Yeah, dude.
committing.
First time you're hearing this. But I actually someone reached out to me after I posted it on Facebook, and they were like, "Oh, I left my flag at the Airbnb at the hotel, and then they already threw it out, and they did finish the race, so I'm trying to get the flag over to that person."
For 3 payments of
So at least some
$29.99.
good deed comes out of it.
That's
Nah,
good though.
nah, I'll
I
leave them
like
for
the
free, dude.
transition
It's
bags,
alright.
the mesh bags, definitely the better ones from any race we've done.
Yeah,
I'm
they were
gonna keep
much
those for
better.
swims. That's great for like swimming. Wet
Hundred
gear
percent. Dude, show up to the pool, show dominance with those
with our
transition bags.
DNF, our DNF dominance.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
for
Jesus.
sure. It's like those people at the expo at Texas that were wearing like 2025
Yep.
Boston hoodies. I'm like, damn, dude, that was a week
Oh,
ago.
hang on a sec. I might run out of
That was
battery
a
on
week
this
ago.
thing.
Damn, dude.
Well, if I do, you'll be the first to know. Yeah. So
So expo was great. It rained that Thursday, but then Friday it did not rain. And race morning, which was Saturday, we found out that it was not
Yeah.
wetsuit legal. Well, it was legal. It was optional.
Yeah, 2 days before that, if that was Thursday, it was wetsuit legal, right? It was 74,
Yeah, yeah,
then it was 76.6
yeah.
on race day, race one.
If it would have rained Friday, it would have been good. I mean, we used the wetsuits regardless, and I don't think it really affected our race drastically. But that's always something that's like
I
in the back
started
of
thinking
your head,
about it a little more, and I think it did affect my race. I swam 15 minutes slower than I expected, and then looking at the Facebook group, without me even saying it, a lot of people said the same thing. Now, I don't know why that is for this particular race. I didn't feel like we had current against us. Did you? At any point?
On the way back.
On the way back. So the first U-turn, starting there.
Yes, because when I first started that first leg of the loop, I felt great, and I think I did pretty well because when I checked my watch when I was making that U-turn, I was done. It was like 35 minutes or like 40, and I'm like, wow, I think I'm making great time. And then that leg back before you go into the canal, that's when I struggled and I got really off course and led me to do 3 miles instead of
So
2.4.
my first out and back, or my first out before the U-turn, my left hamstring was like tired. It's not the one I pulled during the run, but like very odd. The last few weeks of training, my left hamstring was just like tired for some reason. I don't understand why. And I felt it during the swim, and it impacted me mentally during the swim. I mean, I still was able to swim, but wearing the wetsuit, dude, I definitely sweated more. Lost a lot of electrolytes, water, and we started much later than lining up
Yeah, I mean,
normally.
we started at the back.
But
end
like
of it.
they made the wetsuit folks wait at least 5 to 10 minutes longer before everyone else was in the water. You know?
Yeah, the group that we started with, it was purely wetsuit, which was not the case at Gulf Coast. I remember when we did Gulf Coast 70.3, there was a few people that snuck in with us that didn't have we didn't wear wetsuits and they had wetsuits on. I don't even remember. But man, the water was murky.
Yeah,
as
you
hell.
can see shit.
It was really murky. You couldn't see anything, and I thought I enjoyed the first half of the swim, and towards the back, I started to suffer a little bit. I started swimming more than I had to just because I was getting off course. And man, that canal was much longer than I anticipated it to be, or at least it felt.
I felt like it took forever just to start the canal. I did look at my watch 3 or 4 times leading up to it, like at the 30-minute mark, 1 hour mark. I think I was at the canal at the 1 hour, maybe 1 hour 10 mark. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it was long. I thought it was probably, like, looking at a map, I thought it was 2/3 of the distance of one of the legs we swam. So starting the canal mentally, I thought like 20 more minutes, and it was like more like 40
max. Yeah,
sure. So, yeah, I mean, it's okay. I did see my mom to my right when I was swimming, which was cool, from the canal.
I didn't see my mom, but I heard her, which was cool. Because I kept checking my watch at the canal at least like 4 to 5 times, and then like twice of like I think it was the third or fourth time that I checked my watch. I hear my mom's like, "Stop looking at your fucking watch, just go." And then I was like, "All right," and I just kept pushing. But that was pretty cool that canal allow people to like watch pretty close because they got some pretty nice.
No, it was nice. It was nice. It was scenic. But I'm not in love with it. I mean, it's like it's
yeah. I prefer.
I like Placid
swim.
more too. Yeah, I like Placid more too.
What I also like about it is that you have to come out before you do your second loop, which allows you to
Eat a
eat a
gel,
gel,
see the time.
which I for sure
Yeah,
helps
yeah,
you
and mentally, the quick break if you
for
need
sure.
one. You know you're halfway, right? And you've already just done it, so there's no guesswork.
Because man, once I got out of the water at Texas, I mean, I felt it at Placid too, but Texas was like twice worse. I get out of the water and I almost fainted. I'm just like, fuck. Like everything just came to my head, like rushed to my head. And then I like stumbled to where the strippers were, and they laid me down, and they just like stripped my wetsuit out. And since it's a little bit baggy on me, there's so much water in there that when they took my sweatsuit out, it was just like a pool of water, just like just like
Is it too
exploded
big?
all over me.
The wetsuit?
Yeah, it's too big. And then the guy was like, everybody was like, "Oh my god, what happened?" And they're like, "Dude, you're supposed to leave the water in the lake,
Dude,
not take it out."
I
It
was
was a lot.
shocked my wetsuit fit me for this race because of how much weight I gained. I'm like, I'm so lucky that yeah, it was. But I had to wear the wetsuit because the shorts I normally wear are ripped. And the previous triathlon I did in Clash Miami, they were falling off during my swim. So I didn't want that to happen during a full. So I wore the wetsuit. I'm just pissed at the time they made us wait there while we're sweating and it was hot. Uh, but the strippers for me, what my concern is because I use triathlon mode on my watch, and when you enter
Yeah.
transition, you cannot lock the watch screen. So once I'm in transition, if I hit the button again, it goes automatically to the bike, and I miss it, and I won't hear it to clear it out. So when I take the wetsuit off, it may accidentally hit the button. And one of the strippers did that in a previous race. So I tried not to use them, but they were so aggressive with me for this race. They're like, no, they're like trying to just lay on your back, lay on your
Yeah,
back. So I just like flopped, flopped on my back and they ripped it off. Uh, I felt like a
dude,
baby.
it was definitely helpful, but I don't have that problem with the Apple Watch, but I definitely like they dragged me out of the water, and they were like manhandle me into the strippers, and then like I stopped everybody, stopped my swim on my watch, and then I'm like, all right, take me, and then they took my wetsuit off.
uh,
But yeah, man, they took it off, and then I like stumbled to get my bag, my blue bag, and my blue tea bag, and then ran into the tent, muddy as
uh,
hell, and just changed.
yeah, the
Try to find like a
conditions in
corner.
transition are never great in that tent. I did put a towel there for my feet, but it's just nasty, and I take so long to change. Like I wish I could do it faster. I really just need a triathlon suit so that I don't even have to worry about any of this. But like they don't make my size at least.
Yeah,
Um,
you know, people practice
I don't
transition.
practice transition. I practice on race day.
Imagine you're practicing transition, and then your neighbor or someone just walking by, and then you see your timing. You're just changing and like in the middle of nowhere. Just it's weird to like practice it, but people do that because I guess it does
Yeah,
affect your
I mean
time.
swim to bike. I never practiced that until race day. In my transition bag, I have the equipment in there laid out, in order of grabbing them. But besides that, it's
Yeah,
just like I want my feet really clean after the swim. Like I don't want any water or dirt on it, so I take my time to clean my feet and getting the
yeah,
socks
yeah.
on and all that. I used to worry like about even like the chip on my ankle, like taking it off, putting my socks on, then putting the chip on. I just put my sock over the chip now. I don't give a shit. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know, things like that, stupid things to waste time on.
Yeah. So it was in I can try to remember. I think Placid's transition was much better because it was on pavement, so you didn't have to deal with the mud. But I mean, it was more or less the same. And I get out of transition, and I remember same thing as Placid, like no bikes, because I know that I was one of like the last few out of the water. And man, the start of the bike was rough. And then you were talking about this since the
The
start of the
wind.
weekend. You were like, man, it's windy. It's gonna suck. You're like, you know Cosmo like I do. Like
I didn't
the
say
wind's gonna
that.
fuck
Come
us up
on,
in a
dude.
bit.
Cozumel was horrible, dude. Horrible. Horrible. This wind sucks.
Man, I started the bike and the max I could push out was like 14 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like it was rough. Um, and then I forget what mile I saw you like on your way back, because on the way back, it's you're going against it, so you're like flying. So like I saw you just flying by me. I'm like, damn, John looks
I
so
was not
fresh.
fresh.
Like he's killing this.
So mile 20. So mile 20 was the start of the highway, the party on the Hardy,
Yeah,
and that's where the headwind started too. So then you got 20 miles headwind, and I saw you. So then that makes it 40. I saw you maybe like around my mile 50, which would make it your 30,
yeah,
something like that. Um, but going with the tailwind also like pushed me to be an arrow because I was going just so much faster, effortless speed. I was doing more like you, 14, 15, maybe 16. Up against the headwind, and then like 21, 22 with the tailwind on the first lap. It was hot too, man. It was hot too. And one
yeah.
thing I have to mention is in my first mile on the bike, I lost all my salt. It all fell off my bike, all my elements. So I had two
Dude, same.
bottles preloaded with element. I my strategy is one element per hour. So I was gonna have 7 of them or 8 of them in 7 or 8 hours. So I only had 2 for the whole bike, in addition to all the other nutrition I had, but not enough salt. So it definitely contributed to the failure. But it sucked. I was pissed.
Yeah, I definitely I had a bunch of element on my bento box on the outer part of it, and like as I get into the highway, I hit a bump and I lost like majority of it. And I think looking back, I could have gone back and
I
grabbed it, but
thought
I'm like,
about that
nah,
too.
I'm not selling it. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to get into more.
I don't know if that would have made sense or not. I dropped mine in a shit spot. In a shit spot. I would have had
Yeah,
to stop, put my bike on the side of the road, risk it being hit by a car. It was still in the first mile, so it was like in the road. It is what it is now. Now I know. I'm gonna tape those to my
man,
bike next time.
for sure. Yeah, man. And then aside from the wind, the heat, like I had sunscreen on my run bag, and I applied some on my bike, but not enough. And it's something that obviously you feel it on the ride because you're like sweating, but after the race, I'm like burned. My arms are like peeling like crazy right now. Like still 2 weeks out, I'm peeling. Like it's insane. Like I saw a couple of people with long sleeves on the bike, and I'm like, damn, that's weird. It's hot. But dude, when we do Texas again, I'm definitely
Long
wearing
sleeve, but they're probably
like a
like
long sleeve shirt.
sweat wicking, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. But still,
If
dude,
it's one thing
long
I did
sleeve.
right, it was put sunscreen on. Usually I'm the person that never puts sunscreen on. I live in Florida. I don't need sunscreen. I'm a big hero. But I put it on in transition. I didn't have it. Someone just left it in transition, so I used it all over my neck, all over my
Damn.
arms. And then when I stopped for my special needs on the bike, a guy had it, and I'm like, dude, can I borrow that? And he gave it to me, and I did it again. So I'm like new, man.
Nice.
Uh, yeah, that was good.
Nice.
That would have destroyed me. It did. The sun was tough, man. It was hot. I stopped sweating at like mile 60 or 70 on the bike because I was already fading, you know,
Yeah,
which is not good.
it was rough. But once I made the U-turn and I wasn't going like fighting the wind, I felt much better. I was going much faster. And I right before making the U-turn, I'm like, I'm not finishing the race. But then once I made that U-turn and I started getting like that speed advantage, I'm like, all right, there's a chance I can push. I'm looking at the time. I know that the cutoff was 2:20 at mile 63. I'm like, I have like just about, if I don't stop, I can make it. And, but I didn't make it. But man, it was a lot of accidents too. A lot of people like stopping, a lot of people on the floor. I saw a lot of mechanics going back and forth. Like it was a lot of stuff
Yeah, I
happening on the
I
bike
saw
course.
one guy. It's always in not transition. It's in the aid stations, man. Like people, I don't practice grabbing a bottle when I'm riding. I have trouble, riding with one hand. But what
Yeah,
I do is for as long as I could, ride with my left hand and grab a bottle on the right. I put it in my mouth and then I can keep going with both hands until I stop or grab another bottle, then stop and then fill everything up. But people they try to do too much too fast and they slow down in front of other cyclists and then I saw one guy, he flipped over like right in front of me. There was like nothing I could do about it.
yeah.
Because he was like,
And they don't clean the aid station either. There's so much trash all over. So it gets
yeah, it
tricky.
was yeah, it was a lot of accidents. And there was that truck. I mean, I was I
Yeah,
was
the
at an aid
concrete truck.
station when that happened and heard the boom, but didn't see it. And then 10 minutes later, a big tractor trailer on both sides of the road over the wall. So we had to slow down for that.
Yeah, that would. I didn't hear it, but as I approached it, they had like a lot of cones set up. So like they give you a lot of warnings to go to your right, your left side, and sort of you merge lanes, and you have to sort of be careful with the other way traffic. But yeah, that was weird. That was like you wouldn't expect for a
Man,
concrete truck to
that
flip
was
over
bad.
and take part of
That was bad.
the bike course. Yeah, no one got
Really?
hurt, surprisingly. But imagine if you're like it happens in front of you, you'd be like,
It looked crazy.
shit.
I would have fallen off my bike if that happened in front of me. The
Yeah,
Yeah, like it was like 10 minutes away. I was 10 minutes away from it, more or less. Um yeah, it was bad. And with the highway closed for us, like did you see the traffic on that side? Oh.
yeah. Dude, by the way, I think I read that the people who were biking when it happened, like right around it, they like stopped, helped the guy get out of the
I read
truck,
that.
and then they still finished the race. That's dope.
Yeah,
That's
that
crazy,
is awesome. Yeah, I read that on the chat. That's amazing. Well, I'm glad no one got hurt.
dude. I don't know. I don't know what I did that I activated my camera and it just follows me, and it's annoying me. But yeah, man, that was the bike. I got to mile 63 over the 220. I think I got there like 225. And then the guy stopped me. He was like, dude, he literally blocked up. It's when you finish the loop before you head out, you finish by going back the way you came in,
Yeah,
if you
the
remember.
last 20 miles.
So they blocked. So
10.
they blocked. They put a truck right when you come into the highway to start the first loop or finishing your first loop. So people who were finishing their, you get a chance to finish the first loop, but you can't go back out to finish to do the second one. So the guy was like, "Yeah, man, it's stop." I saw him. I'm like, "Don't even. You don't have to explain it to me. I know what this is. I understand." And then he was like, "All right, cool." And I'm like, what do you? I'm like, what do you think is like the wait time for like a van to come pick up people who DNF? And he was like, well, approximately like 3 hours. And I'm like, 3 hours? I'm not waiting. No shade, no nothing. He's like, yeah, I'm just telling everyone to just finish the like go back on your bike with people who are finishing to transition, which is gonna be much faster than waiting for a van. That's what he was telling everybody to do. So I'm like, all right. I mean, riding 7 miles back to transition versus waiting 3 hours, I'm like, I guess it makes sense.
That sucks.
So I bike back. Obviously, everyone's cheering for me, like, yeah, you got this, you're almost there. Dude, I'm not gonna stop everybody and be like, no, I didn't. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, thank you. So I'm like, shit, man. Like I'm just taking all this like support, encouragement, and then yeah, I get to transition and at least I get to ride into transition, which I didn't do at Lake Placid. So that was kind of cool when you like get to it and then you see the crowd and then you have like the sponsorship arches and all that stuff. So that was cool. And then man, so at Texas, right, when you get to transition and then the volunteers grab your bike, and then you have to run towards like a little corridor on the left side around the bike area towards where you
Yep.
pick up your run. And for whatever reason, it was just like you can't. Well, I guess that's a procedure. That's the reason. But I'm like, no, I DNF. Let me just go back to my where I'll drop off my bike on the rack, and then I'll grab my running shoes, and I'll get out of here. And the volunteer was like, no, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You gotta run with the athletes. You gotta do that.
Jesus
I'm like,
Christ.
lady, like I did, I did,
I would
DNF.
get so mad.
I'm not part of the race, dude. I'm fighting two ladies, and then the one of the ladies like, oh, did they take your chip? If they took your chip, then yeah, that you're fine. I'm like, yeah, they took my chip. The guard that blocked me took the chip. So she's all right, go ahead. And then I finally cleared the ladies, and then I'm walking into like the bike area, and then this older lady just rushes towards me. Yeah, give me your bike. You can't come in there. You gotta run. I'm like, oh my god. And the lady was just like fighting me for my bike. I had to call the two ladies that I broke this down like earlier, and then have them explain to her that I was allowed to go into the bike area. But it was like a
Jesus,
whole
man.
argument. And I'm already DNF, so I'm not in the best state of mind. So I'm just like having to explain that to three different people. It was a
If
little
it's
bit annoying.
one thing Iron Man needs to improve on,
And,
it's this shit. It's how to support the DNFers. You know, have a plan.
yeah, I think that I think what they're lacking is they have like obviously like a leader, and they tell all the volunteers what like the procedure is. But what they don't do is they don't run scenarios like if someone DNFs, this is what will happen. Like they don't explain that part, which I think it will only take like a couple more minutes, and it'll be useful for people who DNF because you're already having a bad time. You
So
don't
I
want
have
to
a
make it
question
worse.
for you. When you can you still hear me? Just to be sure. When you
Yeah.
reach, what was it, 2:30 p.m., 2:20?
Yeah, 220.
How did you know again that it had to stop? There was a guy there.
Yeah, so
Okay,
they parked the
but at
car in the
Placid,
road.
a van was there to pick people up, right?
At Placid, there was no car blocking the road, but there was a guy standing in the middle of it, like flagging down people. And then we waited on the side for, I want to say,
I
15,
see.
20 minutes max, and they had a
3 hours
van
is
come pick us up.
ridiculous.
But that was Placid's DNF was way more organized than Texas. Texas was sort of like, yeah, you
Maybe
can
he
continue,
just maybe he
figure
just
your way
said
back
three
home.
hours, but it really wasn't. He just wanted to, under promise over deliver.
Yeah,
No,
dude, but 3 hours
that's not
is
right. I mean,
it's
what if you had a medical issue? Like then I'm sure they'd immediately
yeah.
grab you. But I'm sorry that happened.
Well, I think that'll be different. Like if I was obviously like under medical need, I think they
Yeah,
would have done something. But like when he stopped me, I'm like, dude, I'm fine. I already know what's happening. Like don't like so. I think I gave him the vibe that I'm totally fine. So he was like, all right, this guy is a pro DNFer. He knows what he's
you
doing.
are. I'm sorry, man. That sucks.
So
That
yeah,
sucks.
and dude, and then right after I drop off, I finally get into the bike area, drop off my bike, grab my running shoes. The whole area is blocked off. So I'm like asking everyone, how can I didn't want to just jump the freaking gate. One, because I didn't want to like disalign it and cause like, a whole area to like fall over. And then two, I just did like a 3 mile swim and a 69-mile bike ride. I wasn't going to jump a freaking a fence. And then no one knew how to get me out of transition. Dude. They kept sending me back and forth. I'm just walking around the bike area like a volunteer.
Holding
The
your chip.
volunteer tried to give me a bike,
Jesus.
and she was like, "Hey, can you rack this?" I'm not a volunteer, and it was a mess. Some lady finally was like, come," and then she like guided me to like a corner, and then opened the gates and like let me out. But that whole transition after the NF was a little bit of a nightmare. But yeah, I got out of there. I called my mom, and they were actually eating lunch, so I had to wait for them. And but it worked out because as I waited for them, you were finishing
Okay.
the bike. So then I saw you finishing, and I got it on video. So
Okay, I
that was
didn't
pretty cool.
realize. I didn't realize that's right when I saw you. Um. Well, Jesus. Is that your DNF story? I'll continue with my bike.
Yeah,
Um.
yeah,
Yeah. So just a brutal bike, man. I was suffering. The the whole last 30, 40 miles, I was just like really, really mentally not there. Healthy though, ankle was fine, joints were fine. I was confident. I was really confident finishing, really confident. As tired as I was, but as the miles so when I finished on the highway, the last 10 miles were back road. So we were going over bridges, under bridges, over bridges, under bridges, the last like 10 miles. And I had a couple people in front of me that were kind of like passing each other back and forth. I would pass them on the downhill. They'd pass me on the uphill. A lot of elevation on this bike course that was unexpected. It was at least 2,000 feet elevation.
Yes.
Not a flat course. I mean, it's rolling hills. You get the speed on the downhill, that you get on the uphill, but it ain't flat. Especially with the heat. Yeah,
They were quick hills,
they
though.
are quick
It was like a
hills.
quick
Yeah,
push.
I would agree with that. But man, the last 10 miles, like people are scared to go fast and turn, and that's all I have. Like I need to go fast on the downhill to make up my uphill because of how slow I go. So a lot of people braking on the downhill turns, and that was a bit frustrating because I lose my momentum. I probably lost a few minutes doing that, but anyway, finished my bike, gave it away. Was just mentally so broken. Quickly got my shoes on. I use these like rubber band shoelaces so I could get my shoes on quicker. It's also better for my ankle. So that worked out. I got my gear on. I think that was a pretty quick transition, and then just started. I saw all you guys when I started, but man, I know mentally I was just like same at Placid. Like I needed 3 miles of a walk to just like get it going and start getting mileage, so it's not 26 or 25 to go. But the sun was still like beating. The sun was still beating on me, and I could not get my heart rate down. My heart rate power walking was in the 130s, 140s, which is quite high for my power walk. It's usually 120, 130. So I didn't run at all. I just power walked really slow for the first 2 miles and picked it up, and then sun started going down.
You did one full loop on the
So it
run
was like
course, right?
around mile 7 where the sun was in a position where I was just approaching like the really busy area, which is like the last 3 or 4 miles of the 8 or 9 mile loop. So I did one full loop before I stopped. But around mile 7 or 8, there was a short downhill in a shady area with a lot of people, like a lot of spectators. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna start jogging now, And there was a guy I was talking to. Man, walking beside people helps so much. Like other racers, like so many people there, that help. But yeah, started jogging. I did a 30-second jog and down this hill, and then just slowed down to walk, just like to get in the groove of running. First 30-second jog. As soon as I started walking, I felt my right hamstring go on me, and I couldn't even take a right step anymore. So I just kind of stood there and thinking about all the salt I lost on the bike, and tried to stretch it out. It's not stretchable. Like it's not like you can't kink that out. So I did what I could and did slow walks, slow steps. Second step, I felt it again, couldn't step anymore. And a spectator offered me a salt tab, which technically by accepting that, I already DQ the race because you can't take race support, but I took it. And
Damn, dude.
I mean, it's a rule. You can't take anything. It's support. So
Yeah.
I took it, and I don't know if that helped or not, but like it kind of went away, came back. So I told myself, okay, until I see everyone, I'll finish a loop and get to see Hippie Hollow at least, and then I'll call it quits. So I did around 8 or 9, mile
Man,
8 or 9.
we missed you at Hippie Hollow because while you were once you started, I grabbed something to eat with my mom, and then I came back to the run course and then tried to get some B-roll, and I got a lot of B-roll on Hippie Hollow. And there was this one guy who was just
Yeah,
banging on like
I
a
saw.
trash can, getting in people's faces. I'm like, damn, when Johnny gets around here, I'm gonna talk to the guy. Just really tell him to just get in
That
his face
guy,
all over him,
that guy
piss him
was like
off.
screaming, no walking in Hippie Hollow, no walking. I'm like, dude, I got no choice. I have to walk. It was just too slow, man. I mean, like everything I trained for went to plan. I had 7.5 hours to do this marathon. It's exactly what I wanted and needed. I just like the hamstring thing, not training enough with the running. It sucks. It sucks. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, man. At least you got a loop out of it, and you, in a way, experienced the full Ironman
Ah,
Texas course.
yeah, -2 loops of the run. But it was cool. It was a good race.
Yeah.
We'll have to do it again for sure.
It's for yeah. We definitely have to go back. I think it was a good experience on their first race that I really experienced like heavy heat, like because Gulf Coast, I thought it was gonna be like hot, but it was hot, but not extreme. Like this was pretty extreme heat
Yeah,
for me
high
at least.
humidity.
So it was definitely a good experience.
High
Yeah.
humidity. And the thing with the Gulf Coast, that was a half.
But
So like we were
yeah,
half the amount of time out there, you know, like full is no joke. That's a lot of time on the bike.
did what was your bike time? It was
It
like
was
7 hours.
7:20,
I was looking at
7:30.
the time. I think Christian, who won the race, his full race time was your like less than your
Crazy.
bike time. That's insane.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Out of all of this bullshit, I'm proud of the bike. I really sucked at the bike a few years ago, and definitely, I mean, just doing that helped. But you, wherever I train more, I'm losing elsewhere. So like, I used to be pretty good at running for
Yeah,
my
yeah.
size, and that's just declined over the last 3 years. So like, my PR marathon was with you. Was it with you? I don't know, 5:45, and like, there's no chance I hit a number like that right now. No
Mm.
chance. 7. I
You just
know.
gotta lose weight, dude. I think once we lose weight, we'll unlock
Hopefully this
ultimate
year.
potential. Yeah, I'll tell you this though. I am taking a nice sweet break from triathlon. I'm not gonna sign up for anything for I say for a long time, but we'll see how that plays out. But for now, I'm just gonna run. We have 3 marathons this fall. Have a few halves here and there, a few freaky 4 milers, and just run, try to lose weight, and come back to triathlon maybe next year or 2027. But if I do, when I come back for it, I'm gonna do it right. I have to do it right. Like a third time has to be the charm. There's no
What's going to be a
other way
race?
around it.
The third race.
It might be either Texas or Placid. I might do Placid just to come back to where it all began and get
Nice.
that out of the way.
Well,
What about you, dude? Are
I
you
will
registered
watch
for
you
any
do
Ironman?
Placid. You'll do it next year, you think, Placid?
No, I won't do it next year, but I'll probably do 2027.
Okay.
So I'll start training for it next year, end of next year. Something like that.
Me, yeah, like you said, I have to lose weight. I'm gonna give this carnivore diet a go. Although traveling with a diet that you can only eat protein and fat is not easy. But I'm gonna try as much as I can. I am currently signed up for Ironman Chattanooga on September 28th, but I have until August to decide whether I'm doing it, deferring it, canceling it, or whatever. I did build a plan. I did build a
Defer.
plan to I put a plan together to maximize training for this year's Chattanooga. I'm gonna decide officially in August, but I'm gonna focus on CrossFit, lifting right now, running, getting better at running because we're signed up for the same marathons, at least 2 of them at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Chattanooga is a easier swim, so knowing that, I would only do 1 swim session a week and replace it with the run. So timing wise, you know, for me it's all about how much time am I spending driving just to train. So if I have to go do a swim session and it takes me a half hour each way to get there, I'm wasting an hour a day swimming on top of swimming. So if I save that once a week, I might consider it. I don't know. I have to get better at running. I have to
Think
get better
about
at
it.
running.
Just think about it. See, I would suggest defer it and then just take a break. We did 2 Ironmans back to back.
And
It's not fun, dude. We need some time to relax.
you know I can't relax.
I will say this, man. I am so glad it is over because this was like just a weight
Yeah.
off my shoulders. Like the guilt of not training enough was
Yeah.
killing me. You know, and then just knowing that I have that race coming up and I need to train and so much stress. Like I'm so happy that it's over, even if it's a DNF. And the great thing about the DNF was that I was able to pack my bike and everything that same night because I flew out of Texas like the next morning. I was at the airport at like 9 a.m. So if I would have gone all out, finished the race midnight, man, that would have been a brutal
Yeah.
packing experience.
Well, shit, dude. Sub-60.
Did 59 minutes, 30 seconds.
Either way, dude.
Right.
I'm proud of
Right
us.
under the clock.
We'll announce some stuff later this month or year what we're gonna do. But good job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll keep the people informed what we're doing, all these races. Yeah, man, that's the first episode. We'll see if we do more this time around, or maybe we buy a third set of equipment.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll get it going. All right, dude. Tell the people
Like,
subscribe.
subscribe. Obese.
Sick. All right, man. See ya.